Welcome everyone. My name is Tim Hespy. I am the Channel Account Manager at Nuvotera, and I will be serving as your moderator today. With employees working remote and data security becoming difficult, it's become increasingly important to share and collaborate on projects securely. Today we'll be discussing our newest product offering, Soonr, and how it can increase your mobile productivity with real-time collaboration from anywhere across the globe. With enterprise-grade security, you can provide your team with the features and ease of use they need to work together. I'm now going to pass the controls over to Katie Bravand from Soonr so she can tell us more.
Thank you guys for joining us here today. Give us just 1 second while we get up this presentation. All right. So, as Tim mentioned, we are here today to talk about Soonr and our cloud file sync, sharing, and collaboration service. A quick overview of what we're going to cover today. First, I want to talk a bit about some of the different considerations that need to be made when choosing a cloud file sync service, both from your client's point of view and from your point of view. I'm then going to show a quick demo of the Soonr agent and our web interface, along with the different mobile applications we have. We'll then talk about some of the different hybrid options and why Nuvotera and Soonr equals success for you. So let's get started and talk a bit about what your users need. Number one is that anywhere, anytime access to all of their important files and documents. So long gone are the days where you're sitting at a desk day in and day out accessing content from one single machine. You now need to know that you can access your critical information, be it from your work computer, a laptop, or a mobile device when you're out on the road, and maybe even an unknown computer that you happen to be using while you're in someone else's office or in a business center. So ensuring that you can access all your content, no matter the device, no matter where you are. Not only do you want to, of course, be able to access content, but you want to actually be able to be productive. Work on those documents while you're mobile, regardless of whether you're in or out of the local network. And then a better, easier, more secure way to share information, both with external parties, so people like prospects, vendors, clients, and then also your internal parties as well. How are you sharing and collaborating with your coworkers, with other employees, people on the same team? A big part of what users need is going to be mobile productivity. And so that's making sure that not only can you access your content on a mobile device, but can you actually create content, edit content, and be productive. And that's where Soonr really comes into play, helping users. So we actually give you full integrated document management on mobile devices. So not only can you see all of your content, but you can actually edit, create, share, anything that you need to do right from your iPhone or your Android tablet. Everything's also available both in on and offline mode. So any changes can be made while, say, you're on an airplane with no Wi-Fi. And then once you connect back to the internet, whenever that's found, all of your changes will automatically sync across your devices with no manual intervention. Right from the mobile app, you're going to have secure private and public sharing without forcing app adoption. So this is a big one. When you want to access something quickly, and someone sends you a link and it requires you to create an account and or download a third-party application, I'd say probably 99% of the time that's frustrating. And so that's why with Soonr, when you want to share with an external party, they have no account to create. There's no applications to download. It's very, very easy for them to do that. There is no frustration there whatsoever. Built into our mobile apps, we have scan to PDF. It's going to give you instant field image and document capture. So I'll show you guys some of the specific features that we have from the mobile applications, but not only could you, say, pull up an existing PDF and sign it from a mobile device, but you also could take a picture of a paper contract, automatically scan it to a PDF, and then maybe make changes on the tablet, share that with a third party, whatever you need to do. And we can also integrate with QR codes. And we see this used a lot for manufacturing and engineering clients, and that's something I would be happy to discuss with you further. So what are some of the things then that business management and IT partners like yourself, the admins, what do they want? So of course you want to give access to people, but you also want to be able to control. So control the who, what, when, and where of file sharing is what we always like to say. You want security over corporate data. You want to know where data is, who's accessing it, and again, being able to restrict or limit that access. It's always key to be able to prevent any potential breaches. You want to be able to comply with any existing company policies and procedures. If you have, say, an existing internal file structure with a full permission set, you want to be able to replicate exactly what you've already set up so that you aren't trying to recreate any new structure or new compliance procedures. And of course, you want it to be easy both to set up and to manage on an ongoing basis. So Soonr truly is a business-ready solution, and these are all really important factors to consider when you're looking to partner with a cloud file sync vendor. We have industry-leading uptime with a no-breach history. This is going back to when our service launched in 2007. We have geo-redundant local data centers, so if you're here in the U.S., all of your data is going to stay in the continental U.S. And we can actually tell you exactly where your data is, give you all the certifications behind those data centers. If you are in Canada, all of your data is going to stay in Canada. It's never going to touch the U.S. We are a global company with data centers worldwide, and we can pinpoint where your data is going based on where the partner and or the client is located. We're fully HIPAA compliant. A lot of vendors say they're HIPAA compliant, but when it comes time to sign a VA agreement, they won't do it. So I always say, you know, that's great that they say they're HIPAA compliant, but if you need that VA agreement signed, will they do it? And the answer with Soonr and Nuvotera is absolutely yes. With just a standard mutual NDA on file, we're happy to sign VA agreements for any of your clients that need to be HIPAA compliant. We also are SSA 16 certified. We can get you those certifications, and Soonr as a company itself also has the SOC Type 2 certification and audit, which is done yearly. And these are all documents that we can supply you and your clients. And then we're going to give you granular administrator control and full reporting, which I'll be able to show you guys. So with that, I'm going to switch over and just briefly show you some of the different features in a live demo of both the agent and the web interface. So you'll see right now I am demoing from a Mac. Our agent works very similar whether you're on a Mac or a Windows machine. But just like to highlight that because some people say they have a Mac agent and it doesn't necessarily work all that well. So step one, when you add users to the Soonr service, they're going to be instructed to set up their account and download the Soonr Workplace agent. Looking at our licensing model, everything is done on a per user basis. So we're not concerned with the number of agents or mobile applications that someone installs. So I, as a user, can install Soonr on 20 devices or on one device. It's all going to be a single user account. So you'll see I have the Soonr Workplace folder set up, and it's showing up here just like a My Documents or a My Desktop folder would, and then I can interact with it in basically the exact same way. So you'll see here I have all of my different folders, and then within these folders, I have individual files and subfolders. You can see all these folders have a green check mark next to them. And that indicates in real time when the content has synced across all of your devices. So once you see that green check mark, it's going to let you know that your content has synced to the cloud and therefore is going to be available on any other Soonr-enabled devices. And right here from the local agent, I can add new folders, I can add content, etc. So for our demo here today, let's add a new folder that we're going to call Nuvotera. And you'll see very quickly, it's going to jump over to a green check mark. It starts out with an hourglass, letting me know it's syncing, and then we have that green check mark. I can then come in here and I can drag and drop any content. I can create content, save it directly into this folder, depending on how I'm working. So here's a Word document that I'm going to drag over, and we'll see that's going to then save very quickly. I can then go about, do any of my other business that I need to do. Let's say I want to edit a document. I can do that directly from my local agent from this folder. So I can come in here and I can add different information. I can then come back and I can save it directly into that folder. I'll then be able to show you these different versions that we have when we take a look at the web interface. Again, you'll see switches to hourglass, and once you get that green check mark, it's been synced. So if we switch gears here and go over to the Soonr Workplace web interface, I can click here on my Projects tab, and I'm going to see all of those same folders that I see on my local agent. At Soonr, we have a strong focus on collaboration, and I'll go over some of those different features that we offer. And a top-level folder for us is considered a project. So when you see projects or we call something a project, that just means it's a top-level folder. So if we go back here to the Soonr Workplace agent and we take a look, you'll see that I have a handful of projects or top-level folders here. But when we go to the web interface, you'll see I have a ton more. And that's because we have selective sync capabilities. So with selective sync capabilities, you actually can pick and choose with each individual agent what folders or projects you want to sync to which agent. I highlight this because this is a really important feature to have that, believe it or not, a lot of cloud file sync vendors don't offer. And why this is so critical is because if you don't have selective sync in the solution you're using, that means you can only install the agent and actually work with the content, provided you have enough disk space to sync down all of this information. So selective sync is really nice because I can install the agent on, say, my home computer, and I can decide that I only want to sync maybe 2 or 3 projects or folders to that agent locally. Because the majority of the other content I rarely need access to, and when I do, I can just go to Soonr.com and pull any of that info. So within the local agent, you can actually pick and choose how information is synced to your machine. So if I go to the Workplace Sync tab, you'll see I've set this so that at any time new projects are created, it's going to ask me before it tries to sync any of that content locally. So this way, if I'm, say, in an airport and someone adds me to a marketing project that might have 25 gigs of video files, it's not automatically going to try and sync that down. I'm going to get a notification, and then when and if I want, I can choose to sync that locally. You'll also see we have full notifications here built into the web interface. So I can see here are new projects that I've been added to. So as an example, here's a positioning framework project that my colleague Bobby just added me to. I can come in here and I can choose if I want to sync this to not only this particular machine, but actually any of the machines where I've installed the Soonr agent. So very easy to pick and choose selectively which folders you want to sync to which devices. If we go back into projects, if you remember, I just added that Nuvotera project. And so we can come in here and we are now going to see, here's that Word document that I just added. With the Soonr Workplace web interface, we actually are going to give you full document preview and viewing right within the web browser. So I can see this is a Word document, I can see a preview, and if I click on this, I'm going to be able to view the entire document in the web browser. Going one step beyond, not only can I view that information, but I actually have the option to edit this document online using third-party tools such as Office 365 or Google Docs. And so you as an admin are able to choose for each individual client whether or not these integrations are available to them. So if, for example, you have a financial services client, they aren't going to want any of their content likely going to Google. So you can turn off that Google Docs integration. But maybe they're Office 365 users, so you can turn on the Office 365 integration for them. Through using that 365 integration, they would then be able to edit this document online, and you can even enable multi-user editing, where if you had a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet, multiple users can edit the document at the exact same time. So some advanced features that you're going to get all right here from the web interface. If we go back here into the Nuvotera project, anytime I create a project or a folder, it's going to be personal by default, so only I have access to it. But it's really easy to add any of my colleagues to this document or to this project or folder. So what I can do is I can come here to the Shares tab, and I can say that I want to share this with my colleague Ryan. So I would be able to add Ryan to this project, and then I set the permission level, anything from read-only to full access. So for each individual project or top-level folder and subfolder, you can pick and choose who on your team can have access to what and at what permission level. You then also can choose whether or not they can reshare this with other people or create public links to share with outside users. And we also are fully integrated with SMS, so you can even send them a text message alert letting them know that they've been added to this project. Once I add Ryan to this project, he can then pick and choose, if I've given him an access level, whether or not he wants to sync this to any of his local agents. When you share any of these projects, you then have full integrated commenting as well. So as I'm adding content or changing content, I can actually leave those right here in the web interface. And then Ryan can choose to get alerts, either via email, text message, or just through the web, letting him know what I've done, what comments I have left. So these are some of the different collaboration features that we offer to make it easier for users to be able to work on documents and shared folders together. The other side of sharing is going to be, what if you want to send something to a third party, so to someone who doesn't have a Soonr account, someone who's not on your team. So for any individual projects or files or subfolders, I can create a public link. And so this is going to allow public access to this project. So I would click on this link, or I'm sorry, on this box here, and it's then going to give me a few different options for creating this link. So you'll see I can create it as a view only or give download capabilities. For download enabled, I actually have the option to automatically convert this document into a PDF, which we work with a lot of law firms, and lawyers love this because everything they do is a Word document. And instead of having to convert these into PDF when they're sending them out to people, they can just select to automatically convert it to a PDF. And so that will automatically generate the PDF when the outside user clicks on the link. If you're giving someone access at the folder level or creating the link at a folder level, users can have upload capabilities back. And then you can password protect the link, you can auto expire after access count. There's a bunch of different options here. So for this example, let's say that I want to password protect this. And I'm going to set the password to Nuvo123. And I'm going to go to Apply Changes. And it's now going to create this public link. All I then need to do is click on the link, and it's automatically going to copy it to my clipboard. I can now come in here to a new web browser, paste it, and this is going to be the outside user who's accessing it. So I created this link, and I sent it to them in an email or a Skype message. So I paste this message, if you remember, set that password in Nuvo123, and the user is now going to have access to this full folder. And they'll then be able to preview and view documents just like we could before. This is fully brandable as well, so you or your clients would be able to brand this with their logo and their color scheme. So it has a totally unique feel. So some of the different examples that we see for using this, a very common one is financial services, or let's say an accounting firm. So an accounting firm can go, the CPA can create a project for each of their individual clients. They can password protect it, and they can leave it open on an ongoing basis. They can then just create a different subfolder for each year. So for tax season rolling around soon, they can create 2014 tax documents, and they can have the instructions and the initial forms that need to be filled out, and they can automatically send an email through Soonr out to those clients. The client can then access that link. It's all password protected. Not only can they access those forms, fill them out, and send it back, but they also can upload any of their 2014 financial documents to that folder to securely send them to their CPA. Not only is it going to be an easier, better way, more secure way to send info back and forth, highly sensitive info, but it also can serve as an ongoing document management solution as well, because now everything is sorted out by client, it's all backed up, and both the client and CPA can have ongoing access to it. So a lot of different options for this public sharing capability. To highlight for you, a lot of what I'm showing you from the web browser, I'm showing you because it looks very nice. I think it's easy to follow along, but a lot of this can be done right from the local agent as well. So I can go into this Nuvotera project, and if you remember, I just created that public link. It's actually going to leave that active now across the service for all my local agents. So all I would do is come in here and right-click, and I can go to Copy Public Link, and it's automatically going to copy that, and I can go and paste it into my email or Skype message or whatever it is. If I wanted to take, say, a new document, I can come in here and I can just go to Create Public Link, and it's going to give me all those same options that I had before to create a public link, at which time I just choose Create Public Link, and it will copy it, and I can now go and paste it into a new web browser or however I want to share that link. So again, this is just a highlight to show you that a lot of what you can do from the web interface, you're also going to be able to do from the local agent. So when we talk about sharing information with coworkers, so working on shared projects and documents in a collaborative setting, there's two important things to keep in mind. One is going to be file versioning. So what happens if a user makes changes to a document and I don't like those changes? I want to go back, take a look at a previous version. So on the Soonr service, we are going to give you full retention for 6 months for both deleted files and file versions. So that means that an individual user can go back and restore or download a previous version or a deleted file any point in time up to 6 months. Not only do we give you this full 6 months retention, but we actually don't count it towards your storage quota. So this is all above and beyond the storage quota that you're given. So I can come in here, here's a demo project that I have, and you'll see for each individual file, it's going to show me the last time the document was changed, by who, and how many versions there are. So I can come in here, and let's say that I have a document here, my meeting notes document, and there's 5 versions. And I've taken a look at it, and I want to revert to a previous version. It's really easy to do. All I would need to do is come in here and go to Manage and Previous Versions. And it's then going to show me every time the document's been changed. Again, who changed it and when. I then have the option to download one of these previous versions or restore or revert back to the previous version. Again, if an individual user has access to the file, if they have read, write, modify permissions, they're able to do this. It doesn't require admin intervention, which is really nice for you guys. The same is going to apply to deleted files. So I can come up here for any given project, or I can even do this service-wide. I can choose Show Deleted. And you'll see now it's going to pop up every deleted file that I have here. And let's say that I know I had a job description that I had deleted. I can actually come in here, and I can filter out. And I'll see this job description is going to pop right up. And I can then choose to come in here. Not only can I restore this document, but I also would be able to look at the full 6 months version history if this is a document that I had made changes to. So the retention is a big piece, something very important to have. The other thing that you want to make sure that you have when looking at a solution that for collaboration purposes is to make sure that there's file locking available. And so that's that check-in, check-out mechanism that's going to alert different users that a file is locked. So that if we're working on a shared document, I've gone in, I'm making changes to it. If Tim tries to open that same document, we want him to be alerted that I'm working on the document so we don't both try to save over each other's work. So anytime I open an individual file, I can come in here, and all I need to do is right-click and go to Lock. And it now says the file is now locked, and you'll see there's going to be a little lock icon right next to that document. I can open it, I can make my changes, I can save it, and then I can choose to unlock it. So now any other user, they in real time will see that lock notification, whether they're on an agent, the web browser, or looking at it from, say, a mobile device. They're still going to be able to view that content, but they'll be able to view it in read-only mode. So we aren't going to be overwriting each other's changes. I showed you guys the manual process for this. However, keep in mind that we do have what we call smart locking for Office, where any Office document, any Microsoft Office tool, it will actually automatically lock and unlock shared files when you open and close them. So you don't even have to worry about your users manually locking and unlocking a file. But especially if you think about this in a larger setting, so maybe you have 100 user Office and they all have access to the same spreadsheets, you really want to make sure you have the file locking mechanism in place. Because if not, it's very easy to end up with a bunch of different copies of data floating around, different copies of the same document, which becomes then a document management nightmare, as I'm sure you guys can all imagine. So the last few things to highlight for you before I switch over to show you guys some of the admin features. I just want to show you guys this dashboard really quick. I can actually come in here and I can favorite any documents or folders that I'm using on a frequent basis. They then show up right away anytime I log in from a new device or I'm on my mobile device. So it's really easy to send info out. So for example, we have a white paper, 33 Reasons Dropbox is Not for Business. Partners love this with good reason. And so I'm sending this out all the time. So I have this saved as one of my favorites, and then I can come in here from any of my devices, really quickly access this. I also can come in here. I can copy the public link if I need to send it to someone, whatever I need to do. So the favorites is a great option. We also have a recent changes tab, and this is going to show you everything that you have access to, what's been recently changed service-wide. So let's say that I want to see everything that my colleague Bobby on the marketing team has been doing lately. I can actually come in here to the recent changes, and I'm going to see all the different documents that he's changing, adding, deleting. I can filter this however I want. So if I want to see only what Bobby has done from a certain time period, I can do that. Or if I want to see only what's been deleted in a given project, I can filter that. So very easy to get a good picture of what's going on service-wide. I can see any locked files. In case I want to make sure I haven't left any shared documents locked, you'll see I don't have any locked files. And then I also can really quickly take inventory of all of my public links. And I can come in here and I'm actually able to open, edit these documents and links right here from this page. So a ton of functionality that you have both from the web browser and the local agent. I would now very quickly like to just show you guys a couple of the admin features that we have available on the service as well. So I'm logging out from an individual user account, and I'm now logging back in as an admin on the service. This is going to show you the admin portal for one individual team. However, we do have a full partner portal available as well, and that's actually going to give you the capability to manage all of your different teams or clients from a single view. So know that we do have that full partner portal available for you. You'll see this looks very similar, except we have two additional tabs, the configuration and the report. So if I go into the configuration tab, we're going to see the company branding tab. You are able to brand the Soonr service for all of your clients. So you, as an MSP, can brand it, and it can be your logo and your color scheme that flows through to all of them. Or each of your individual clients, you can brand it for them as well. Especially if they're heavily using that third-party sharing capability with the public links, the branding is great to have. We have Active Directory integration. This is going to carry over all AD user and group info and maintain that constant link. So that would be taken care of here. And then we have a ton of different policies that you can set for each of your individual teams or customers. The policies are all set on a per team basis, so they can be completely different for different clients, which is really important. And there's a ton of different things that we can do. And I'm not going to go over all of these because I am trying to keep this as brief as I can. But you can definitely take a look at these in trial mode, and you can see we have a bunch of different things surrounding passwords, two-factor authentication, IP address whitelisting, public links, who can share information, what can be shared. I talked about the integrations we have with online editing tools. So here's where you would turn on and off the Google Docs or the Office 365 integration. You also can choose whether or not multi-user editing is possible. What I do want to highlight for you are the mobile device policies, and this is a really big one. So I'm going to show you guys some of the different mobile features that we have from within the iOS and the Android app. But I want you guys to take a look at this. We actually have the option to disable mobile exporting as one of the policies that we have. And the Soonr app is very different from a lot of other cloud file sync apps that are out there, because anything that you need to do with your content can all be done right from the Soonr app. So if you want to create a new Word document or Excel spreadsheet, or if you want to scan something to PDF, maybe sign a contract, send it out to somebody, all of that can be done right within the Soonr application. So I have no reason, no need to use a third-party app. So while I'm busy doing everything that needs to be done with my content from within the Soonr app, the admin or the manager on the account can then set a policy that actually disables any content from ever leaving the Soonr application. I, as the user, don't know it, because everything I need to do is done within the app. So I have no reason to use anyone else's application. But you, as the admin, are making sure that no content is going to any third-party apps. And so this can serve as a mobile device management solution, in that you can now give business users access to their business content on a personal mobile device, but it's behind a passcode, it requires authentication, and you make sure no content can be exported. That way, if the user leaves the company, you can then perform a remote wipe of everything stored within the Soonr app, within that container, on their personal mobile device. It doesn't require any additional mobile device management tools. So a really, really cool feature to have that our partners and end users get a ton of use out of. Lastly, to show you, we offer full reporting and a full audit trail for everything service-wide, and you can filter this out by team, by individual users, by individual projects, content that's created, whatever you need to do. And so you would be able to come in here and add many different filters, sort all the data, and then you can actually export this into a PDF or an Excel document that you can then send to whoever needs to see it. So there is a full audit trail that's available. So these are just a few of the features, some of the more commonly used things that are offered both for an end user and a partner. There obviously are more things. Any specific questions that you guys have, make sure to follow up with your Nuvotera account manager, and they can answer any of those and give you a better, more in-depth overview if you guys need it. With that, I'm going to switch back over to my PowerPoint. And I do want to show you guys just a couple of the mobile features here quickly. And the mobile app, you guys can fully test this out. It's included with the Soonr trial. But we have this mobile application again. It's going to allow you to edit, create content as needed right on the go. Some of the security features that we offer, we do have two-factor authentication. Everything is fully encrypted both on the device and then in session and in transit. We went over the mobile device management policies, but where you do have the ability to prevent any data from being copied or exported from the app. You also can choose to have no content synced to any local apps, no offline access if that's something that you want, if you're very concerned about security and what's going on with content on given devices. We have full document editing and annotation, scan to PDF, integration with QR codes, and then again, you can have that on and offline access. Document editing, so any Microsoft Office document can be edited right within the Soonr application as if you were using either a third-party editing tool or Microsoft Word or PowerPoint itself. So full Excel spreadsheet editing, you can create formulas. You look at Word, the Microsoft Office or Word editing is very advanced. Not only do you have all your basic Word features, but you have advanced features such as document tracking, so that you can actually go through and track all your changes, and then a user can accept those changes on the back end. So really advanced with the mobile application. We have native app support, so you can integrate with some different third-party apps if you would like to view content, but then also you can view over 60 different file types right within the Soonr application itself. We have scribble or annotation capabilities. So just as one example, you would be able to sign a PDF contract right from your mobile device. But I mentioned that there's 60 different file types that you can view. For anything that you can view, you can annotate or scribble on as well. A really cool feature to have. Image capture or scan to PDF with annotation capabilities. So I can take a picture with my mobile device right within Soonr, and then I can annotate on that, then create a public link, send it out to someone via email, whatever I need to do. And secure mobile sharing. We went over those public link capabilities. The exact same capabilities and options are going to be available to you right from your mobile device as well. So last thing to cover, looking at the different features that we offer, are going to be our hybrid cloud options, which are a big differentiator when you're looking at Soonr compared to other offerings. So with our hybrid cloud options, we actually give you the ability to sync any folder anywhere on a network directly to Soonr, or take any existing folder within Soonr and sync it to any location on the network. So there's a couple different examples for this. One could be, let's say that you have a user and they have been using their My Documents folder for the last 20 years, and they will only be using their My Documents folder for the next 20 years. You could actually take that existing My Documents folder on their machine and choose to sync it to Soonr. So they now are using it on their local desktop just as they always did, and all of that content is available to them within Soonr as well. So they now have a way to access it on a mobile device, from another machine, etc. Another example would be, what if you have an existing file server, and there's a couple folders on that file server that you want to sync to Soonr? You could do that as well. So you can designate any network folders to share with an individual user, with all Soonr users, whatever it is. Once you identify those folders that you want to sync, you can then share the projects with different teams or different users, and you can set the permission level. So in the case where you have a file server, maybe you want to take a couple select folders, or maybe you want to take all of those folders. You can sync those to Soonr, and you can then pick and choose who has access to what and at what permission level. So you'll see, for the case where maybe we're talking about an existing file server, you can run Soonr on that local file server. We have an agent available. Users on the local network can then access that content just as they always have. Nothing changes. However, now your remote users, people outside of the office, they have a much better way to access that content. They can access it right from their Soonr agent if they've synced any of those projects or folders locally. They also can access from Soonr.com, and they have full access from their mobile device as well. Not only is this going to give you the cloud file sync and the ability to access from anywhere, but it's also going to give you a full backup of anything that you sync to Soonr. So where you sync an entire file server to Soonr, that entire file server is now backed up, and you have that 6 months retention, both for file versions and for deleted files. You can install the desktop agent directly on servers, and at that point it will run as a service, or you can simply use our agent to pick and choose any given folders that you want to sync to Soonr. So the hybrid option, it's a great model. It's included with all Soonr user licenses. And it can definitely open up some new doors, some new opportunities for you when looking at who might be a fit for Soonr. Some of the user benefits to these hybrid options: mobile users now have anywhere, anytime access, including network-based files. So they don't have to worry about establishing a VPN connection. They now have a great way to access directly from a mobile device, a laptop, etc. Internal users can now collaborate more closely with remote team members. Those internal users don't have to change the way that they work, but they now have a very easy way to work with people outside of the local network. And non-shared files are very easily backed up. Some of the IT benefits: you can enable business without changing logical directory structure. So you actually don't have to recreate any existing directory structure. You simply pick and choose what you want to sync to Soonr. You can retain the source of authority. You now have full visibility both on the local network and from Soonr's cloud. It's a very inexpensive backup resource. Anything that you're syncing is automatically going to be backed up, so you don't need to worry about a separate backup tool. And you can reconsider the need for VPN. So now that we've covered the demo, some of the different features, let's talk a bit about the Soonr and Nuvotera partnership and the partner programs and how they make sense for you. So when you come on board with Soonr, you are going to have access to the partner portal. This is where you're going to be able to create, manage, set up all of your teams. You'll also be able to access training materials. We have full marketing materials available as well. So if you took a look at that 33 reasons Dropbox is not for business white paper that I had pulled up, that's an example of a marketing material that we can co-brand for you. So Soonr and Nuvotera will co-brand all of our existing marketing materials so you are ready to go. All of this can be done right through your partner portal. Branding options I talked about are available at both the partner and customer level. You can take care of the branding right through your partner portal. You will see here's an example of that quick high-level snapshot. You see all of your individual teams right from the partner portal. You can then see individual users, computers as well. Very cool about Soonr and Nuvotera. We don't require a large buy-in to get started, and we also don't require any buy-in to get going with customer trials. So you guys can sign up as a partner and get access to this partner portal, and you'll see there's this big Start a Free Trial Now button. You have a client you want to go talk about Soonr. You log into your portal, you start a free trial for them. It's going to show up right here in your portal, and it'll show you how many days of this trial that they have. If they can get a free 14-day trial, they can start using the service. Then you can disable it. They can pick and choose, hey, do I want to continue with the service? You can come back in, you can convert it to a paying account at any time. So you have the ability to set up unlimited free trials for your clients, which is a really great feature. It definitely helps your sales process. Looking at the Soonr service itself, we have two different plans, a Pro and an Enterprise. With the Pro plan, you can get started with as few as 3 users. A Pro plan, the list price is $9.95 per user per month, which is very competitive pricing, and it includes 1 terabyte of storage. On the higher level, the Enterprise plan is going to start at 10 users. It's going to give you 5 terabytes of storage, and it's going to be $19.95 per user per month. From a single partner portal, a single partner account, you can have a mix of some clients using the Pro service and some using the Enterprise. Of course, you want to know what's the difference. Definitely talk to your account manager. They can give you the full breakdown. However, a quick snapshot, the main difference is going to be obviously the storage, but the back-end management and admin features that are available. So looking at it from an end user perspective, having access to the agent, the mobile application, all of that's going to be very, very similar, whether you're on the Pro or the Enterprise plan. The big difference is going to be the full auditing, all of the different policies that you can set, Active Directory integration, integration with Office 365, Salesforce.com. Those are things that are going to be included in the Enterprise offering. It's very easy to move from plan to plan, so users can start out at Pro, move to Enterprise, and vice versa. So with Soonr and Nuvotera, you are getting features that businesses want and the requirements that IT demand. Talking just a little bit about Soonr, we are obviously very focused on security. Nuvotera would not have partnered with us if we are not. So it is a security-first platform. We are a stable, proven enterprise solution. We are not someone who just decided, hey, let's try out this cloud file sync thing. We hear good things. We actually were founded in 2005. We launched our service in 2007. Since 2007, we have built a very large customer base. We actually have more than 150,000 paying business customers on the Soonr platform. This is more than Box. This is more than Dropbox. These are paying business customers. A lot of people wonder, they say, well, how if you have that many paying businesses, how come we've never heard of you? And that's because up until a year ago, our service was offered almost exclusively through white label partnerships with companies like AT&T, Samsung, Comcast, Rogers up in Canada, and a bunch of large distributors and strategic partners in Europe and APAC. So while the Soonr logo and brand might not necessarily be something that you're coming across all the time, which, let's face it, can be a big benefit to you as the IT service provider, you have the trust, the confidence in knowing that we've been around and we do have such a large number of paying customers on our service. The partner program getting started, there's no mandatory buy-in. We're not asking you to buy 100 licenses up front or commit to a large sum of money over 12 or 24 months to get started. You can start with as few as 3 users, and even before you have 3 users ready to go, you can get signed up with the partner portal and have access to our free trials, our co-branded marketing materials, etc. You as a partner, we also really encourage you to get your own NFR license to use as well, and we'll get you those at a 70% discount. So you're really just paying for the cost of the storage. Obviously, you have full marketing and sales support available as well. Getting started is very easy. Next step, we'd really encourage you guys to download a trial. You can download a full trial of either the Soonr Workplace Pro or Enterprise, test it out in your own environment, and these are all things that your Nuvotera account manager can help you with. And so with that, I really appreciate your guys' time joining me here today, and I'm going to pass it back over to Nuvotera.
Great. That was awesome, Katie. Thank you so much. I think that's very valuable. So on behalf of the Nuvotera team, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. I'm sure you'll have some questions, so if you would like to follow up, please direct your communication to your account manager. If you're unsure who your account manager is, please send an email to sales@nuvotera.com, and we will get in contact with you. Have a great rest of your day.